What do you usually visualize when you hear the word prison? Probably one of the first things that comes to mind is a harsh, inhumane living condition. Well, that condition would vary from country to country, of course. Stay tuned as we explore one of the world's most intriguing jailhouses and its inmates' lifestyle. What differs it from the rest of the world's prisons? Let's find out. Japan's prisons are unlike any other in the world. They follow very strict schedules and protocols. For example, talking is allowed only during exercise and free times. And take note, strictly Japanese language only. Inmates are put in a cell which can hold 6 to 12 people. The rooms are Japanese style, which means inmates sleep on futons on a tatami flooring. Foreign inmates, however, are detained separately in Western style rooms with beds or Japanese style solitary cells. Generally, the schedules are quite mundane, but if not followed, consequences will be harsh. Prisoners have to wake up at 6:45 a.m. sharp, have breakfast for an hour, and go to work for the entire day from 8 a.m. to 4:40 p.m., with just a few short breaks in between. Dinner is usually at 5 p.m. with 2 hours of free time. Finally, lights out at 9 p.m. sharp. The cycle continues every single day. As part of prison work, prisoners are trained in woodworking, printing, cooking, and cleaning, as well as vocational skills that can be applied after they are released. Inmates are paid for their work. However, they can collect the money after being released. Inmates are allowed to read books, watch television, and chat quietly with each other during free times. But all must be done in Japanese. Rules sometimes become problems with the foreign inmates, especially those who are not fluent in their native language. The location where the majority of foreign offenders is kept is the Fuchu prison. It is known for being notoriously strict. One factor could be because it also houses various members of the Yakuza, like the famous gangster Shinobu Tsukasa Kamucho. In 2015, Fuchu Prison was the largest prison in Japan, holding about 2,086 prisoners. The cells in the prison are divided into 4 categories consisting of normal prisoners, foreign prisoners, mentally ill prisoners, and the physically disabled persons. Male foreign prisoners in Japan are mostly housed in Fuchu Prison. The prisoners are generally male offenders 26 years old or over with prison terms of 10 years or longer, and who have past prison records. They're incarcerated for various crimes, but all in single cells in 2 or 3 blocks. On the other hand, a regular women's prison, known as Takichi Prison, also designated to hold foreigners, is located in a rural area north of Tokyo and is organized just the same with the Fuchu Prison, though generally its regime is less harsh. The procedures, with a few small differences, are applicable to future prisoners. There is an English language holdings at the prison library where the U.S. Embassy is currently contributing books and training for beauticians. Japanese typists and seamstresses are being held instead of auto mechanics and carpentry. Though the conditions are less harsh here, many foreigners have claimed otherwise. Joanne Mariner, an American prison specialist for human rights, once attested to the totalitarianism approach of the prison with an obsession with the rules where arbitrary punishment awaits disobedient inmates. Yuji Kaido, a lawyer for an American foreign prisoner referred to as Mr. Mara, had described the condition as prisoners being slaves of the state. It was noted that in a lot of cases regarding foreign inmates, Japanese prisoners try to save face and make themselves look better than they actually are to appease international standards, so information from them should be treated with caution. How does someone get into this kind of prison? Waiting in trial, Japan usually takes months or even years depending on the details of the case, and so while on process, the convict spends time in the kietsu, or the police jail. Evidence regarding the case will be collected by the prosecutor and police during this phase. Even if it's something relatively simple like an assault, they would still be detained for 1 to 5 months. A regional detention facility usually has more comfortable conditions once the prisoner is moved there. However, rules are still to be strictly followed and maintained with a tight adherence. Some of these are the highly controlled portions of foods observed during meal times, where the food is to be taken in the room and has to be eaten quickly. The rooms are to be spotless and clean. Members of the cells have to be sitting in a Caesar's position in front of the cell door and shout their prisoner number in Japanese during daily head counts. These and many other cautionary protocols an inmate should highly take note of. The majority of Japanese inmates are housed in community cells. The Japanese prison conditions are similar to those found in the regular county jail, but they are stricter because of their system of rules, and to abide by them is such a pressure. It's even more worse for foreigners without the appropriate cultural background and lifestyle training. They are often put in separate accommodations like small solitary cells for the time of their sentence. It is the reality of isolation and being totally alone with no one to talk to that can be very devastating for some inmates. Aside from the assigned tasks, they are allowed to get out of the cells only during exercise times. Though looking at the reports showing a very systematic and ideal place for correction, it was found out to be otherwise. Rules absolutely define one's existence. If you can follow these rules, certain privileges can be rewarded, but even a slight diversion can result in harsh punishment. Some of these rules: when and how to place each item inside the cell and which specific notebook you can write things down. Simple, yeah. Everything will be inspected to know as to whom harsh punishment will be given. Japan's local incarceration rate is far lower than most developed countries at 37 per 100,000 citizens, compared with 132 in Britain and 629 in America. And so the rate of recidivism is low, and tremendous effort is made to keep young people out of the prison system. Generally, Japan's prison system is impressive, yet draconian rules and mind-boggling punishments can make anyone wish to not be a part of it in any way possible. What do you think of our video today? Let us know your thoughts.